And we are live. Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Grammar Garage series. In Grammar Garage, we take apart a grammatical problem and we rebuild it in such a way that you can understand it really well, or at least that's my intention. Today, what are we going to do? Today, we are going to be talking about how to talk about annoying behavior. And in talking about annoying behavior, you're going to be using the second conditional. That's would, could, should, might. But you're going to be using it in a more advanced way than we looked at in the last Grammar Garage class. It's time to clean out the clutter from your Grammar Garage. That's what we're going to do today. First, let me just do a quick introduction, and then we will get started because we have a lot to do in this class. I get my name on the board. There we go. I'm John Eric, your verbally teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on the link in the Verbling chat window, it'll take you to my profile page where you can follow me. Click follow. Oops, sorry, I gotta just mute you for a second because I'm hearing an echo. You can turn on your mic in just a minute. You can click follow. You'll see all my upcoming group classes so you can know what's happening in the coming week. Also, you can schedule a private tutoring session or package with me. In private tutoring, I will work with you personally on a personalized learning plan. And that way we will meet your particular goals. So it's quite specific to what you need. I'm a little bit busy these days, so just send me a message before you book so I can find time for you in my schedule. Okay? So that is a little bit about me. Here is the material for today's class. And if you want to open this yourself, you can do so by clicking this link in the chat window. You should be able to see it there. Or if you don't see it, look in the Verbling chat and you'll see it there. Okay? So let's say hello. Mr. Khalid, sir, welcome back again. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good, very good. And Mr. Kadir, the other sir. How are you, Kadir? Welcome back.
I am doing great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And where do you live in Turkey, Kadir? Are you in Istanbul?
Istanbul.
Istanbul. Okay, excellent. So, gentlemen, we're going to have some other people join us relatively soon. Maybe we should give them just a second. Let's give them just a minute to come in. Everyone's taking a bathroom break from the last class. While we're waiting for them, let me ask you a question. Let me see, what's the question I wanted to ask you? Did you ever have to deal with annoying behavior at work, at school? When was the last time you had to deal with behavior from someone that you weren't very pleased about, just out of curiosity? And what did you do about it? When was the last time you had to deal with it, and what did you do about it? Look at that guy. Look how annoying he is. Did you ever have to deal with a situation like that, Khalid?
Yes, in my area school, I was working as teacher, as I told you before. Uh, uh, the director is not the big boss, but the director of my section.
Right, right.
Was annoying me all the time.
Uh-oh.
He was not specialist in my field of teaching, but here the things are going randomly, not like you, not like your country. Here is who is bettering the big boss, he will get the position.
Right, right.
Even if it's not specialized in the field. For example, if you teach math, maybe he was the director will be from science field, you know, not specialized in that. Therefore, he always annoying me about what I have to do. When I ask the other teachers who are older than me, they say that you are right, but you have to flatter him also. I said it is not. It's bad thing to flatter something in account of students. Therefore, it's not will not be benefit for the student. I get in a problem with him all the time, and he was destroying my picture in the eyes of the big boss or the
Destroying what? Sorry? Destroying my
my image, my image.
reputation.
Yes, my reputation. Yes,
Yeah.
and he transport bad news about me to the big boss or therefore I get in the problem with them. At last I left the school for him.
Oh my goodness. That's terrible.
This is what's going here. I think that also you have to better up something for her.
So he was spreading rumors or untruths to the big boss. Spreading
Yes,
rumors or
yes,
lies.
he because the big boss is not always available in the school. You know,
Right. Yeah. Well,
there
it hap
was
it happens where I'm from too. Maybe not as much, I don't know, but it does happen. But you're absolutely right that in America we have this idea about, you know, doing things on merit. That you're supposed to be just work hard and be successful. So supposedly that's how things work there. I can tell you in reality it's not always how things work. So in this case, it wasn't just annoying behavior. It sounds really like you have a. It sounds a lot worse. It's not just annoying behavior. It sounds like you have grounds for a legal lawsuit against the guy. It sounds really bad, actually. So, so you left. So your way of dealing with it was moving on to a better place. Yeah.
no, I work that now. Now I work as a contractor. I told you,
Uh-huh.
it is a bad thing to work for low salary and with such this problem every day.
Right. Right.
It's not good for me to stay in such this difficult situation. It's always stress all the time. And he's some guy who is following me, who catch my faults, such these things. Therefore, I left the school.
Right. 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 Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe today after we're going to be working on grammar, but we're also going to be talking about annoying people. So maybe we can come up with a way to some ideas about how to deal with those difficult people at work. I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds pretty tough, actually. And being a freelancer or a contractor it's not easy. It's not because you have to deal with people. There's no one to report to, so there's no one. I mean, there's if you say anything, you could lose your job. It's very difficult. So
Teacher,
I understand exactly.
teacher, teacher.
Yeah,
In the beginning, it's difficult, but in the future, it will be better. I think. I trust my God, therefore, and what He chose for me. Therefore, I will continue in my way, but I will not flatter anybody in this. If especially if he doesn't deserve that.
right. All right. Well, I think you've got the right attitude. All right. Well, we got some other people here. Let me just say a quick hello to who came in. So Giancarlo, good morning, bright and early in Mexico.
Thank you, John. Good morning.
5:10 in the morning. Unbelievable. How does he do it? I don't know how he does it.
Yes.
And Lena, how are you today?
Hi, John Eric. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Great.
And Jose came in as well. Jose,
Hello.
are you still awesome?
Yes.
Still awesome. Excellent. All right. So look, let's talk a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. What about the rest of you? Just quickly, have you had to deal with annoying behavior at work? Hopefully not as bad as what Khalid had to deal with. I hope not. What about the rest of you? Have you ever had to deal with that guy in the office who looks like this? There's always one, isn't there? There's always one dude in the office that gets on your nerves. Am I right? Help me out here. Or do you all have wonderful jobs and wonderful experiences? What about you, Giancarlo? Have you ever had to deal with that annoying guy in the office or at school?
No, John, not so far. Everything has been okay.
Oh my God. You must be young. Give it a few years.
Okay. I will tell.
I can't remember. Are you still in school or are you working?
Well, no, I am working right now. Well, both. In fact, both. I am taking some courses, and I work too.
Okay, so you just haven't worked enough to deal with it, but it'll happen. Trust me.
Okay. How to deal with it?
We're gonna find out.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna find out. And what about you, Lena? Do you have that one annoying guy that's always by the coffee machine?
Actually, I can complain as well. Yes, just I'm a student now, but I used to work,
Right.
and I didn't focus so much on such situation. You know, there's always something that can annoy you. Yes.
Yeah.
Just I was really. Colleagues were great, yes, and my chefs as well. Just I know there are some chefs who are not that great, yes, but I didn't
Chefs?
have
Chefs?
bosses.
Ah, I thought you meant
No,
that you worked in a restaurant.
no, bosses, yes, just no. I can complain now.
Okay, so you're all lucky, I guess, except Khalid. What about you, Kadir? Have you ever had to deal with that? Are you working? Are you in school? What are you doing?
I am still in school.
You're lucky.
Generally, assistants of professors are like that.
Yeah, those TAs, teaching assistants.
Yes.
But the problem is they often are the ones who are grading you because they have to do all the heavy work for the teacher, right?
Yes.
So how do you deal with an annoying TA? What do you do to deal with it? Do you ignore them? Do you have a technique?
Sometimes you have to ignore it, or you can talk with the professor of the course.
Right. Sometimes it helps, but yeah, sometimes it helps. I think in a university situation, in my experience, nothing really changes too much. I mean, you really, I've had situations kind of like what you're talking about, and in my experience, academics don't really want to discipline anyone, so it's hard to get anything done. On the other hand, usually they just give you what you want. If you're complaining, they'll just give it to you and like to get you to shut up. But the problem is that I had a situation with a teacher when I was really young, like I was just in university, 18 years old, and I had a teacher who just hated me. And I to this day, I don't know why. I really don't know what the problem was, because I don't remember doing anything particularly bad. I don't remember even speaking in the class. And she tried to fail me, and the class was not even over. It was like halfway through. And she already said, "Oh, you're going to fail." And I remember petitioning her boss, then her boss's boss, and I went all the way up to the vice president of the university. This is a really big university, by the way. And in the end, they just told me to drop out of the course. And that was it. They wouldn't discipline her, and they wouldn't. Okay, nothing really bad happened to me either. I just dropped out of the course, but there was nothing I could do about it. I tried to come into class and stare at her every day, just make her feel uncomfortable. No teacher fails a student halfway through a course, halfway through a class. It's impossible. I've never seen this in my life. Anyway, that's my experience with academics. In the end, the university will give you what you want to shut you up, but there's not a lot of justice, I don't think. Let's find out about how other people deal with annoying behavior. And in doing so, we're going to master the second conditional and find out what conditionals are. We'll review them as well. So take a look at these, everyone. I want you to describe some of the photographs you see here in this little panel called The Office. How do you think people feel and why? Okay? Then we're going to read a few emails about the situation that you're going to see, decide who wrote them, what you learned about the people in the photos, and then we're going to look at some expressions. And in doing so, what we're really going to get to is the grammar. So first of all, this is The Office. You might recognize this from the hit British television show The Office. It's not that one. Tell me, let's see what's going on in these pictures, okay?
Okay.
So, go ahead. Get us started.
In the picture one, I see a man playing the guitar. If the man is playing the guitar, the woman will be happy hearing the sound of this guitar.
She will be happy? Are you sure? She doesn't look that happy. She looks like she's laughing at him. Do you think she's happy, or do you think she's...
The women will be annoying about the song.
Annoying or annoyed?
Annoyed,
right.
Annoyed
Right.
about the song.
And who do you think the old man is playing the guitar? Remember, the context is the office.
I think he is 50 years old.
Yeah, but who is he? Who do you think he is at the
Who
office?
is? I think could be the boss.
I think so too. So is anyone going to tell him to stop playing the guitar? He's the boss, right?
Yes, yes.
All right.
The women cannot enough authority to tell the boss stop the play the guitar.
Exactly. No one can say anything to amuse the boss. Lena, look at number 2. Tell me if you've had to deal with this situation as the only woman in class.
Okay, I see 2 people in the picture, and I think it's a boss and an female employee, and she wears such hats that I guess they're celebrating the Christmas or something like that in the office. And probably, I don't know, and I see when I see the face of a female employee, I can notice that she's a bit anxious. She doesn't know how to react, and she doesn't know what she needs to say. She's just something not hypnotized, but something like she can't move. Yes, and
she's frozen.
She's frozen, yes.
Right.
But we see her eyes, and the boss, he's enjoying the situation, yes?
He is, but Lena, what's he holding in his hand? You can see a bigger picture of it in the bottom right. Can you see what's written there? What's that leaf? What's it for? It's Christmas time.
Mistletoe? I don't know what it is. I don't know what is that.
Repeat after me. Mistletoe.
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. If you hang mistletoe from the ceiling, whoever is standing underneath the mistletoe is kissed by the nearest person.
Oh no! No, I don't think that she feels like she wants to be kissed from her boss. He is not that attractive, yes, and he is the boss. It's actually other situation, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We call that sexual harassment.
Yes.
Because it's okay if you're holding the mistletoe, but maybe it's not really okay. And Giancarlo, look at the third picture. What's up with that guy? How do you think he feels? Take a look at the third one.
Okay, he seems to be bored.
Yeah,
He seems to be not happy, unhappy in his job because uh,
why do you think he might be bored?
maybe because he didn't like or he doesn't like what he does. Maybe the man looks unhappy, as I said before, and he doesn't appear to be in the right place.
Right. And I don't know if that picture is happening at the same time as the party, but if it is, maybe he doesn't really feel like going to the party. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to
Um,
find out in a minute.
oh
Okay?
yes, you're right. Yes.
And then we got those pictures at the bottom, like 4 and 5. Mr. Khalid, how do you think they feel in picture 4? How do they
Uh,
look to you?
it's a big boss birthday, and there are some employees that celebrating with him.
Oh, it could be, yeah. They've got, what are they wearing on their heads? You know what we call those things, Khalid?
Uh, I like something like crowns,
It is. They're wearing paper crowns.
but they are the directors in his company.
Hmm.
They are celebrating something that I don't know what's.
Yeah. Maybe it's a birthday, or maybe this is all part of the Christmas party. I don't know. We're going to find out in a minute. And I think that's it. Did I miss anyone? I think I got. Oh, Kadir, look at number 5. Kadir, what's going on in picture 5, and how do they feel?
I think there is a power cut.
Maybe, yeah, okay.
They look uh,
It,
bored.
it, they look bored, yeah. Maybe it's not a power cut. Maybe my pictures are not very good. Maybe my pictures are too dark. I don't know if it's really a power cut. But they look bored, yeah. Instead of doing their work, what are they doing?
They are just staring the fish.
They're staring at the fish instead of getting their work done. Yeah, when I look at that, I think they're probably students, and instead of studying, they're looking at the fish or something like that. Okay, so those are how people feel. Now, let's see if we can find out what's really going on. Okay, so who did I just call on? I called on Kadir. Kadir, can you take the first paragraph of this email? We're going to find out what the real situation is, and we're going to pay attention. When I do these Grammar Garage classes, I always give you a text, and in that text, you have many examples of the grammar that we're focusing on. So start to notice the second conditional, because I'm going to ask you about it. If you don't know what the second conditional is, don't worry, you're going to learn it in just a minute. Okay? Can you read the first paragraph for us here, Kadir?
Okay. Bored to death with the routine at work these days. I think I am going out of my mind, to be honest. The only skill I am learning on this job is how to play with a yo-yo. Mr. Parker, that's my boss, says I should take my work more seriously, like Linda. Linda's one of the Linda is one of the people I share the office with. Mr. Pierce always saying things like, "Oh, Linda, she is such a good worker. If only he knew, she is just the same as me." Yesterday, we both spent an hour studying the goldfish. Anyway, it's just as well that the Christmas holidays are coming up, 'cause I am dying for a break. A whole week away from this place. I wish it were longer, but it is better than a slap in the face.
Then a slap in the face.
Slap in the face.
Okay. Are there any words that you don't know in that paragraph, Kadir or anyone? Anything we want to clarify, or is it pretty clear?
Everything is okay.
It's okay? Okay. Let's read the second half of this. Giancarlo, want to take the second paragraph?
Yes, yes, John. It says, a funny thing happened, a funny thing happened this morning. Mr. P came into the office holding up a branch of mistletoe and tried to kiss Linda. You should have seen her face. It was priceless. If only I'd had a camera. It's sad, though, really. I think poor old Mr. P fancies Linda. He's always finding excuses to wander over to her desk. She must be sick to death of him borrowing her stapler.
he's always
Oh,
he's always borrowing her stapler. You know how many times you need to staple things,
yeah.
especially when you've got a hot young assistant in the office. Okay, keep going, Giancarlo. Actually, let's finish this email. Keep going.
I quite like Mr. P, but I wish he wouldn't try to be hip and trendy, 'cause it just doesn't work. I remember one time he brought his guitar into the office and sang for us. I thought I would die of embarrassment. Anyway, we are having a little Christmas party this evening, so I'd better be off. Got to blow up some balloons and
Okay, so now you know a little bit about what's going on, but I've got one more for you to read. Hopefully you've noticed a few examples of the second conditional there too. Okay, let's read our second one here. Okay, so Lena, why don't you take the first paragraph for us?
Yeah, sure. Wasn't able to open your attachment cause this computer's real
Dinosaur.
dinosaur. It takes forever to do the simplest things. I wish the boss would invest in some new equipment, but he won't even buy himself a stapler. He's forever coming over to borrow mine. It drives me crazy. Maybe I'll buy him one for Christmas. Taking of Christmas, Mr. Park.
Talking of Christmas.
Talking of Christmas, Mr. Parky, that's the boss, has been terrorizing the office with a piece of mistletoe today. What a nightmare! He he cornered me by the photocopier, but luckily my phone rang in the nick of time, so I managed to escape in one piece.
Right. So who wrote this email?
Linda.
Linda wrote this one. She's being terrorized by the boss with the mistletoe. And Giancarlo, who wrote your email?
let me see. I think one of the guys. One of the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys. In fact, I don't know if we know the name. I think the name got mentioned or not, but it's not Linda anyway. Yes. It's probably the young guy in the photo, one where they're looking at the fish, so you can see what it looks like. Okay, and Mr. Khaled, can you take the second paragraph for us? Linda's email.
Yes, gladly. Jamie just sitting there playing with the yo-yo. I wish he would stop. It is driving me up the wall. Remember, I told you about Jamie. He is the guy who asked me out on a date once, and it was a complete disaster. We ended up in Burger Fair talking about which is better, a PC or Apple Mac. Not exactly my idea of romantic evening. If only he had just opened it up the talk it and talked about his feeling a bit instead of just talking about trivial stuff. He is funny. He is funny. He has
No,
funny
he
though.
is. He is.
He is funny though, and he really makes me laugh. He uh, he did an impression of Mr. Parker singing the other day. I split my side laughing. I wish I recorded it.
Keep going, last sentence.
Anyway, I will stop now cause I am dying for the I'm dying for a coffee, and then we will have go to start decorating the office for.
Okay, so that's Linda. What went wrong with her date? Is that part clear? She
Uh,
dated a guy for the office. It didn't go
yes,
well. What was the
they, they
problem?
they are speaking about they are speaking about trivial stuffs.
Yeah, boring, trivial stuff.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
guy the guy didn't know he didn't know how to deal with women. She didn't want to know the difference between a PC and an Apple. Okay, so now that gives you a little bit more of a clue about what's going on in the pictures. So we did number 1 in exercise 2, who wrote the emails. We know it's Linda, and we know it's the guy that she was in the picture with. Linda's the one up here. She's the one up here in number 2. That's Linda. And in number 5, you can see the guy. I don't know if I know his name. He's in number 5. He's in number 3. He's in number 4, and he's in number 1. Oh, yeah, he's in all the pictures except number 2. So that's the guy. That's a stapler, by the way, on the right side. So you know what a stapler is. What do you learn about the people in the photos? So what did you know now? What do you know now that you didn't know the first time you looked at them, Jose? What was something new you learned after reading the email?
Something new.
Yeah.
That these people feel bored.
Yeah, they're all bored at their jobs, right?
Yes, in their jobs.
Right. Okay. And Giancarlo, we learned a few names too. Did you pick up the names? Any of the names? Giancarlo, are you there?
Yes, Linda, and the other guy is I
So
don't
we know Linda, and she mentioned someone named. Remember?
uh, Linda,
It begins with
Mr. P, and
Mr. Parker. Mr. P is Mr. Parker, and that's the boss. That's
Yes.
right.
that's the boss, Mr. Parker, and
And the
other,
guy she went on a date with.
mm,
Do you remember?
Jamie, no,
Jamie. So there's Mr. Parker. There's the young man, Jamie, and the woman is Linda. Jamie and Linda share an office. Mr. Parker thinks Jamie is a poor worker, and Linda is good, although they spend their time looking at the goldfish. Jamie thinks Mr. Parker fancies Linda. What does that mean, Giancarlo? Mr. Parker fancies Linda.
Fancies Linda is like Mr. Parker is attracted by Linda, I think
He's
something like
attracted to Linda. Yeah, he's attracted to Linda.
attracted to Linda.
Right, which is disgusting because he's an old nasty man. Right, okay, got it. and how does Linda feel about that? Wait, let's go to our female representative, Lena. How does Linda feel about that? The fact that Mr. Parker fancies her.
I think she doesn't appreciate it. She feels like being terrorized, yes.
Exactly, she's being terrorized. And does she feel sorry for him too, a little bit? Does she feel sorry for him a little bit?
I think that she's a nightmare, actually. I don't know if she feels sorry for him yet. She wrote that she was lucky that her phone rang. Probably
Yes.
a bit. I don't know. I don't know if she feels sorry for him.
But she's confused by the fact that he has no equipment. She feels sorry for him, and she wants to buy him a stapler because he keeps asking her for her stapler. So maybe she feels
Sorry, probably he's looking for excuse
it's true, but
to speak to her.
it's true. But she feels sorry for him because he doesn't have a stapler. Okay. So everyone is kind of annoyed by everyone else. That's what we're getting at here. Everyone is kind of annoying everyone in this situation. Let's see. Let's jump down to the third exercise here, and let's start to focus on the conditionals. Informal expressions include exaggeration. Look at the examples below. then underline. Well, don't underline, just tell me. Tell me more words and expressions. For example, let's look at a few of these expressions, like, I'm dying for a coffee. If she doesn't have a coffee, she will die. Okay, that's not really going to happen. It's an exaggeration. She really wants a coffee. Did anyone catch any other expressions? These are not really conditionals, but you have to use the conditional to explain the expression. Can anyone spot any others in the reading?
At the first sentence,
Yeah, say it for us.
I don't remember totally, but it
This
was
one here?
bored to death.
Bored to death. Okay, very good. So, using a conditional, the if sentence conditional, can you explain bored to death with the routine? Think back to the example. The example here, sorry, it's a little hard for me to switch screens. There we go. I'm dying for a coffee. If she doesn't have a coffee, she will die. Here, I'm bored to death. I think that's Jamie writing. I'm bored to death. If he doesn't what? If he doesn't do what? Can you turn that into a conditional for us,
So,
Kadir?
if he doesn't take a break or go to holiday, he will be worse.
Right, or he'll die because he's bored to death.
Yeah.
So that's the literal meaning, and it means that the routine is too boring. He needs a change. Okay, very good, very good. Did anyone spot any others besides bored to death? Before we move on, any others?
I remember one. I'm digging for a break. For a break.
I am. Listen, do you remember where it is?
I am
Here, the first or second, A or B?
A.
A, okay. And it is. Do you see it? Because I'm not sure which one you mean. Do you see it? Oh, there it is. I'm dying.
I am dying for a break. For a break.
I'm dying for a break. Say that to me as a conditional. If I don't, what, Jose?
If it is the same that the conditional that I have seen before.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh,
Say it to me. If I don't.
if she that doesn't have a break, she'll die.
Okay, she doesn't have a break, she'll die. Because she is fed up with the office. Okay.
Okay.
Both of those are examples of the first conditional. If, present, will. If he doesn't, that's the present, he will die. That's the consequence using will. So we call that the first conditional.
Yeah. Present, future.
That's right, present and the future. Here, in these two emails, we have a lot of examples of the second conditional, which is maybe more important because we use that all the time to talk about hypothetical situations. So I'm going to jump forward here before we look at these. Whoops. I'm going to jump forward. We've named a few of these, but you can go back and review them if you want. These were informal expressions. But we'll come back to those later if we have time. I want to jump forward to the grammar because this is Grammar Garage. Okay, now let's take a look at the second conditional, and let's try to take the second conditional and look at it in a more advanced way than last week. I want to get beyond the formula, and I want to look at some idiomatic ways to create a second conditional like the ones you just read about. Okay, so the actual situation. Read these sentences and answer the questions. The actual situation, he doesn't know. The wish, if only he knew. Second conditional. It isn't very long. I wish it were longer. These are all things that you just read. Remember, I'm dying for a break. If I don't get a break, I'm going to die. I wish I could get a break. So notice how we can rephrase the first conditional as a second conditional. Instead of talking about the future, we can talk about our wish in the present. If I didn't have a camera, if only I'd had a camera. He won't stop. I wish he'd stop. That's about the mistletoe. My boss won't stop chasing me with the mistletoe. I wish he'd stop. I wish he would stop. I didn't record it. I remember I was filming. That was the one about filming, which was at the end here. There. He did an impression of Mr. Parker singing the other day, and I split my sides laughing. I wish I had recorded it. And here you can see that again. I didn't record it. I wish I'd recorded it. So, which wishes refer to the past and which refer to the present? Which refer to the present and which refer to the past? So let's start there, class. Which refer to the past, which refer to the present? So, for example, you tell me. I don't want to tell you. He doesn't know if he only knew. Does that refer to the past or to the present? Uh-oh, no one knows the answer.
Both of them refer to past.
Mm-hmm. So, both of them. What do you mean both of them? You mean I'm talking about? You mean he doesn't know, and if he only knew? Both of those?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So hang on a second. If he only knew refers to the present. It's using the past to express a wish in the present. In other words, if he knew it was annoying, he would stop. So in other words, I mean, I'm trying to interpret this one a little bit. So we use the second conditional by creating an imaginary condition in the past that gives an alternative consequence in the present. So number one, it refers to the present. If only he knew now. Now, if it's difficult, we got to go back to the text to see the context, to make it more clear, maybe. What about this one? I wish it were longer. By the way, let's see. Where does that connect to? I wish it were longer. That's about the break, isn't it? I don't see it now.
The end of the paragraph on number 1.
Mm-hmm. End of the paragraph number 1. Excellent. There you go. Excellent. Right? That's about the break. I'm dying for a break. A whole week away from this place. I wish it were longer, but it's better than a slap in the face. There's the context. So the question here is, does that refer to the past or to the present? Those are our two choices, past or present.
It's referred to the present.
It refers to the present. Exactly. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? I wish it were longer. Right now, in the present, I wish that situation of going on break were longer. So it's not about the actual break in the future. It's about my feelings in the present. Okay?
Teacher?
Yes. Okay.
If only refer to the past, I wish refer to the present. Can we consider it like this?
Say again? I didn't quite catch it. You know what we can do here is you can take that and you can put it in the past, and then you'll see the difference. I wish it were longer as the present. If I want to refer to the past, I have to use the past perfect instead of the past simple. Does anyone know what that would be in the past perfect? Instead of I wish it,
yes.
What would it be?
I wish it had been longer.
Exactly. Very good. I wish it had been longer. Now I'm referring to the past. But as we know, the vacation is coming up in the future, in the emails. So we can't say I wish it had been longer. So we're talking about our feelings in the present. We use the simple past. That's it. Okay, what about this one? I didn't have a camera. If only I had had a camera. Past or present?
It's
Past.
here.
Past.
Referring to the past.
Past, exactly. Look at the situation with the camera. Now I don't remember where it is. No. I think I lost the camera. Uh-oh. I don't know if it's here. I lost it. Does anyone know where the camera is?
Yes, it's B. Let
It's
it be.
B.
Yes. I think I wish I'd recorded it. No.
Recorded it.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, fine. Maybe that's it. I lost it. I don't know. I looked at these earlier and now I don't remember where it was. Because it should be exactly the same. Okay, but anyway, you're absolutely right. It refers to the past because it has the past perfect. If only I had had a camera. What about this one? I wish he'd stop. That's got to be about the mistletoe. Let's take a look.
I think it's referring to the present.
Exactly. It's referring to the present. I wish he would stop. I think it's the mistletoe. Where does it say I wish he would stop? He quoted me, I managed to escape. Uh-oh. I looked at all these before class and now I can't find any of them. Uh-oh. Does anyone see the wish he had stopped?
Yes, I see it. Yes, Jamie, it's B. Jamie's just sitting there playing with a yo-yo. I wish you'd stop.
Fantastic. There we go. I knew it was on this page. I wish he would stop. So that means right now I want him to stop. So he apostrophe D stands for he would in this case. All right. So look, and then the same thing. I wish I wish I'd recorded it. Now is that
Referring to the past.
to the past? What does the apostrophe D stand for here, Jose?
Present perfect.
Present perfect or past perfect?
No, sorry, past perfect. I had recorded.
Exactly. Had.
I had past perfect.
Right. So apostrophe D can stand for would or it can stand for had. It depends on the context. So that's question number 2. Which one is would, which one is had? Okay, so wish he'd stopped it is would. Wish I'd recorded it is had. How does the verb tense change after wish and if only? So look at those examples and tell me, how does the verb tense change after wish? Giancarlo, do this one for us. What verb tense do we use after wish?
Would.
After wish, we use would. Right?
Would. Yeah, John, I have a question. One before, for example, I didn't have a camera. In the wish part, could it be, if only I would have had a camera? Is it possible, John? If only I would have had a camera.
Not possible. If
Not
only
possible.
I would have had. But then it's possible if you're talking about if only I would have had it. That's about the future then. If only I would have had it. Wait. Now you're confusing me. Wait a second. My brain isn't working today. If only I had had it is the past. If only I would have it is the present. If only I would have had it. If only I'd had it. No, okay, I see the problem here. If only I would have had it doesn't work. No, you can't say it. Can't say it because would needs to be separate from the past perfect. They have to be in separate parts of the sentence. So, if you say, I would have bought a house if I had won the lottery, there you could say it. I would have bought. Right? I would have bought it. But that is separate from the if part of the sentence. So to answer your question, when you've got the if, you must have the simple past or the past perfect. You cannot have would, could, or should in the if part of the sentence. Okay? So it won't work. So you got to put the if is always for the condition, and the would, could, should, would have, could have, should have for the consequence, the second part of the sentence. So if that doesn't make sense, we got to do an example, though.
Okay, let me write an example here in the chat.
Go for it.
If I would have had time.
Can't say that. If I had had time. Not if I would have had time. At least, Giancarlo.
Yes.
There is an exception where you can say that. There is one exception, but so if you want to give me, let's start with the simple one. The simple version is, if I had had time, I would have what? Let's do the simple version first, okay? So finish that sentence for me. If I had had time, finish that sentence for me. Oh, there we go. What did you say? Giancarlo?
Yes, it's like if I would have had time, I would have taken a nap. Is it correct, John, or no?
No, it's not correct. Look. If I had had time, I would have taken a nap. Take a look. See what I wrote?
If I had had time, I
Right.
would have taken a nap.
Good.
But
Now,
in this case, John, where is the would? Well, in Mexico, in Spanish, we said something that is possible. It's the ending is ría. For example, me gustaría.
that's would. Exactly. That's
I
right.
would
That's
like.
exactly the same. But here's the problem, Giancarlo.
Yes.
In Spanish, you put the ia in the wrong side of the sentence for us. That's the problem. So, eu I don't know, eu ganharia dinheiro se jogava. If I say it like that, the ia is on the wrong side of the sentence. So in English, the ia, would, is only in the result. You've got to always separate it. If I had had time, I would have taken a nap. If I had played the lottery, I would have lost. It's always like that, Giancarlo. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We have to do some more examples, but that's the idea. If you had been on time, no, Giancarlo, look. In this sentence, you've got the result here. So here you need the would. Clear? You would have been on time if what?
You could have been on time if the metro.
Right.
If the metro wouldn't
hadn't stopped.
Hadn't stopped.
Right. Exactly. That's it. That's exactly right. So after your if, there is no would. That's what you have to remember. There's no ia in English after the if. Only in the second part of the sentence. Okay? Now, Giancarlo, there is an exception to that, but don't worry about it for now because you'll just get confused. There is an exception, but forget about it for now. Because it's...
If I had time, I would have taken a nap. It is the third conditional.
Yeah, it's the third conditional.
Yeah.
But you can also say it as a second conditional. If I, let's see, if I had time, get rid of one of the hads. If I had time, I would have taken a nap. You can mix them sometimes like this. Or you can do it as a pure second conditional. So what I'm saying is you have an option here. If I had time, I would take a nap. Not I would have taken. That's the pure second conditional. So don't worry about all the details just yet. The important thing is, if past simple, or if past perfect. The second half has the would or would have. The second half of the sentence. Let's make sure this is clear, okay? Take a look at the bottom there. Listen and say if these sentences contain the D, the apostrophe D. Do they refer to the past or to the present? Okay, so listen carefully. Now, give me just a second because I have to go to the right place in my notes to read this for you. Give me just a second. Here we go. Listen carefully. The first one, I'm going to read 1 and 2 together. By the way, sorry, before I do this, we need to do that example together or it's not going to be clear. Number 1 on the screen. If only I had a camera. Present. Number 2. If only I'd had a camera. But if I say it quickly, if only I'd had a camera. If only I had a camera, if only I'd had a camera. If only I had a camera, if only I'd had a camera. In the second case, it refers to the past because it's had. But when we speak fast, it's really hard to hear the difference. So let's see if I can test you on these. Okay? Here's the first one. Listen to the 2 sentences. Tell me which is the past and which is the present. Sentence 1 or 2. Okay? Listen carefully. Number 1. I wish I'd kept a diary. Number 2. I wish I'd keep a diary. Let me say that again. I messed up because my brain is not working today. Sorry, I'm a little tired. One more time. Number 1. I wish I'd kept a diary. Number 2. I wish I'd kept a diary. I wish I kept a diary. Number 1. I wish I'd kept a diary. Number 2. I wish I kept a diary. One more time. Listen again. Number 1. I wish I'd kept a diary. Number 2. I wish I kept a diary. Okay? Mr. Kadir, what do you think? Which one is the present?
Second one.
The second one is absolutely right. Can you say that for me one more time?
I wish I kept a diary.
Kept.
Kept.
That's it. Okay, very good. So you can hear the difference. Excellent. Listen to the second set. Number 1. I wish he arrived earlier. Number 2. I wish he'd arrived earlier. I'm going to say it fast now. Number 1. I wish he arrived earlier. Number 2. I wish he'd arrived earlier. One more time. Number 1. I wish he arrived earlier. Number 2. I wish he'd arrived earlier. Khalid, which is the present?
I wish he arrived earlier.
Right. So did you hear that as number 1 or as number 2?
I think it's number 1. I didn't know that.
Number 1 is correct. I wish he arrived earlier.
Yeah.
So when we say it fast, there's no I wish he arrived. He arrived is like one word put together. In the second sentence, there's a little pause. I wish he'd arrived. He derived. He derived. Derived. You can hear that little d sound in the second sentence. Okay, so far so good. I got 2 more for you before we run out of time. Listen to this, to the third one now. Number 1. If only you meant what you said. Number 2. If only you'd meant what you said. One more time. Listen again. Number 1. If only you meant what you said. Number 2. If only you'd meant what you said. Lena, what do you think is the present here?
I think the first one, if only you meant what you said.
It's the first one. In the second one, if only you'd meant. If I say it fast, if only you'd meant. You'd meant. You'd meant. There's a little pause that lets you know that the D is there. But it's hard to hear. Definitely hard to hear. Even a native speaker might be confused. Last one. Listen carefully. Number 1. I wish you'd read my emails. Number 2. Number 1. I wish you'd read my emails. Number 2. I wish you read my emails. Number 1. I wish you'd read my emails. Number 2. I wish you read my emails. Giancarlo, which is the present? 1 or 2?
For me, they sound similar. I wish you'd read my emails. I
That's
wish you
number
would.
one. Good. That's number one. And number two is?
I wish you'd read my emails.
Number two was, I wish you read my emails.
You read. I wish you read. The second one is past.
The second one is the present.
The present.
I wish you read my emails more often. I'm talking about my feelings in the present.
More often.
That was number two. Present number two. Sorry, present number two. So for those, let me see if I can put those in the chat window. No, I can't, but I'll write them for you. I can't copy and paste them, but I can write them. Let's just take a quick look. Number one was, I wish you'd read my emails. I'm talking about the past. Number two, I wish you read my emails. I'm talking about the present. And I might say, I wish you read my emails more often than you do. I could finish the sentence like that. And then you can really see it's the present if I finish the sentence with extra information. Okay?
Okay.
So, Giancarlo, it's still not 100% clear, is it? You still feel a little bit shaky.
Yes, a little bit, but well, maybe next class we'll please let's try to do more examples, and
sure.
We are going to continue, right, with the conditional for the next class, conditional second.
I don't know if we're going to do the second or third, but take a look at this. Look at this.
Yes.
Here is a summary on slide 9. Okay? And here is an exercise on slide 10 to give you a little extra practice. So on your own, look at this, try this, and the answers will be on the next page. They're not there now, but I'm going to put them there for you. In the next class, if you want to work more on specifically the second conditional, then we will work specifically on the second conditional. It's fine for me. Maybe what we can do is try to move on to some alternatives so we can see some other forms, but we can definitely work with it. Because what we did today was we did the exercises, but we didn't really have time to get here where you actually get to practice. So maybe we can do this practice and I can give you one more set of alternatives. You can see a more advanced version of the second conditional. Try slides 9 and 10 on your own. See what your answers are like. Send me your questions in the chat window and I'll be happy to help you out. Okay? Hold on to the presentation, download it, print it out, do the exercises on 10. What was it? 9 and 10. Okay, Giancarlo?
Okay.
Yes, yeah, John, sure. Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll set up one more second conditional class for next week, and I'll try to give you some alternatives that you haven't seen today, but we will definitely do some speaking practice to give you some, to get it fluid, to get it coming out of your mouth fluidly. I've got to stop here. We're a bit over time. Okay, questions or comments, send me a message. I'll be back tomorrow from 10 to 12 GMT for Learning from Pictures and Language Games. A fun day tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.